Welcome along, guys, to Limitless DxT coverage of Tuesday night racing here at Limitless Formula Racing. We're here at the Bahrain Short, the Sahkir Grand Prix, as we're calling it, and I'm here with two commentators tonight with a twist, and I'm here with a new commentator, good friend Timo. How you doing, Timo? Wow, and of course I got me my main wingman Lee, as always, but he's racing tonight, and there is a little twist. Do you want to go ahead with that, Lee?
Yeah, well, basically, during the race, I'll still be in the commentary box, and I'll be giving on-track insight into how the race is going, from my perspective, anyway.
That'll be really interesting to see. So obviously we'll cut in and out a few times in the race. I suppose obviously you're with us the whole quali session as soon as you've put your setup on, I presume. So you're retired from the session, as he says it. Brilliant. Yeah, so we've got the Bahrain Short. Obviously we had that last week, so you can have a taster of that quickly if you're just watching and not racing. Have a look at last week. It was a little chaotic, if it was fair to say, but Lee did get a good result in that. See what you're hoping from last to first victory, even though I know you won't take the win, of course, if you're up there, but would that be the dream, Lee?
Still fighting for the constructors' points, so you never know.
Yeah, of course. Go on. Oh, of course.
I will be with that in just 2 seconds, because I need to sort out an invite. No, well, fatalities need an invite. Could you sort that possibly? And I'll read out the standings.
Would you do that, Timo?
Alright.
Send fatality and invite. Thank you, mate. Yeah, so we're just gonna have a little watch actually as these guys are just doing it. We'll just have a quick look because obviously it's actually a very quick lap. We'll just have a look with Amor at the moment. So he's coming around turn 4. He's just gone through the little kink of turn 3, and now that was another kink of turn 5 onto the traditional. Well, it's the third DRS straight final one, but we've only got 2 on this shortened circuit as he takes a lot of apex and it validates his lap time, unfortunately. So we'll go with someone else. We'll go with King Panda, who's actually just started his lap as well. And the Alfa Romeo on the Tuesday night is in the Mercedes on a Sunday night. So he's a man that's a little bit different in LFR. And he's coming down this little straight. He says he's takes purple, sector 1. It was a 21.8 as he comes down towards turn 6 for this track, and then up to the Bahrain curve, which is still here. But it is all the more somewhat beast, that corner, with the low downforce you have at this circuit, with all the endless straights as he's just gone through turn 8, sorry, and he's coming down to the final couple of corners now. So as I say, we do see most of the traditional circuit, but it is shortened by quite a bit. Go on, Timo. It was Lee that said fatality, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm sure just. So, we will see these times, my guess, get extra close, and I think the grid order actually might be a little bit different tonight than it usually is, because it will be it is a track that not many people are actually used to. It's one of the reasons why we're actually doing this circuit this time out. So actually, Timo, you did a few laps in practice earlier. If you want to talk about what you thought about the track? I think we're probably going to get into the mid 57s, maybe. I think in time trial you can get to 56. I think this sort of time. So I think sort of mid 57s will be getting there. Should be. Is Lee here?
Yeah.
So Lee, just a quick question: did you set the? Did you do a custom daytime, nighttime thing, or is it on random?
I'm not sure. So, well, hey, I think.
You don't think you customised it though?
No, I think it's just normal, to be honest, but I think it's random, yeah, so...
That's going to be interesting in the race then, isn't it? It might be daytime, it might be a daytime race then. Well, mixing it up on Tuesday. Anyway, what do you think, Lee? I was thinking of 50, sorry, Timo, mid 57 would be a good time tonight.
Yeah.
Very good time from Fatality, and there's nothing splitting them, but it's such a short track that it is going to be like this in qualifying. As we see a racing point round the wrong way, and I think that's Amaral, and it was Amaral around the wrong way. Found out today he's up pretty late at night in Malaysia doing this race, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, 2:30 in the morning. Fair play to him for doing that. So we have 2 drivers not to set a lap yet, guys. We've got Michael, who's a reserve, who's in a Mercedes tonight, taking Mitch's seat, and obviously got Lee, who's taking X-Ray Doubter's seat, who's had to leave us. Gone. Yeah. Yeah. So, go on.
Sorry, could I just interrupt there? We appear to be having problems hearing yourself tasking. Sorry,
Do you
Timo.
not hear him at all?
No, he's very quiet, so I think it's the only audio they're hearing is like maybe through one of our headsets. Maybe.
You'd have to go to check those settings that you've got your thing to allow always, buddy. So you have to go to press your share button as well, mate. And do it through. If you can't find it, just look up like a YouTube video. Anyway, so me and Lee will just keep talking for the minute if people are struggling to hear Timo. I'm sure he'll be back with us. We've got Dopey Lemons with us now, actually, and he's just setting a lap time, but I think the glitch is probably going to happen for him, where he'll probably be knocked out of Q2 potentially. Anyway, we've got 6 minutes left of this session. We've only got a few drivers out on track. I'm not seeing too many people trying to pick up a toe. I haven't seen too much bad traffic yet either into the final corner, which is obviously a bit of a concern on a shorter track. It's a little bit shorter than Austria, I think it is. Probably about a little between Austria and between Mexico and Monaco, would you think?
What was that for?
This track, I think it's the distance is probably because obviously Monaco is the shortest track, and then Mexico is actually the next shortest, believe it or not. But I think,
really?
Yeah.
I never would have thought that, to be honest.
No.
I would have thought it would have been like Brazil maybe, or Austria.
But supposedly it's not. But
no.
Have you been able to try and sort it out, Timo, yet? Yeah, just check on the stream. You just keep talking for a second, Timo.
No.
Did you go to wait sorry guys, you're going to get a blue screen for just a few seconds. Right, go to party, mate. Go to your party, go into press the PS button, go to party, allow your voice to be shared, always allow. So go into party on the PS menu, party settings, always allow your voice to be shared. Right, I think we've got Timo, guys. Sorry about that, little technical issues. You haven't had Michael coming out. I think we've got Michael coming out the pits. Have we got Michael coming out the pits now? Is it Driznik? I'm not too sure. We still haven't had Dark Stomper come out, and he is coming out now. Sorry, Timo.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the same thing. Dark Stumper is coming out, and he's one of the favorites to get the pole position, so this will be an interesting lap.
He's got probably two... So yeah, sorry. Hello, Timo. Welcome to the commentary. Obviously no one's been able to hear him apart from us. Perfect.
Yeah, you had the joy to be able to hear me, but the live stream community didn't, so yeah, here I am.
We got him back at the end of Q1, and now we're at crunch time at the end of Q1. We've got Michael on an outlap. He's waiting to the very end. We've got a couple of comments in the video, guys. Is it just the stream, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I was just mentioning that there was a second commentator possibly that we couldn't hear.
So just
as well.
Go on. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
So, just a quick shout out as I've just come on board with him. Congratulations to Cons for having a little girl, I think, this morning. She let me know, and but due to COVID, I think he's able to race in some form. So he's chosen to. But anyway, congratulations, mate. So yeah, that's very good news for him. I don't think I'd want to be racing, but each to their own. I think it's his third, so he's quite used to it now.
Pretty brave. Okay, and now on board with Dark Stomper. He has to get this lap right. If he doesn't, one of the favorites for the pole position would be out in Q1. But it looks like a pretty clean lap. Got the exit right, and now coming to turn 10. Only slightly hitting the apex, that's perfect. Could have gone a little bit more to the outside, but still got a pretty good exit.
He's just started the lap.
Yeah. Okay. No, he's starting the lap. Forget what I said.
has gone 6th fast. Oh no, sorry, he was a bit late on the timing screen. Start Jumper
Yeah.
has gone 3rd fastest, 58.3. So he is right up there, but we've got our usual suspects in the top 3 positions. We haven't got Mars with us tonight, who's usually right up there as well.
Yeah.
But our usual top 3 are in their usual spots. Yeah, not always in the right order though, or is there even a right order for these 3 at the minute? We don't know, but we've got a minute and a bit to go. We've got Phoenix and Dopey Lemons on lap. Obviously we've seen Lee, who's retired, who's with us for qualifying. He's going to be starting 19th and last in the race. We've got Phoenix coming into the pits, and he's not going to have enough time to come back out, so he is out of the race. We've got Dopey Lemons, as I said, reserving in the McLaren tonight, and just going to see how he does. He's got a minute and 15, which is plenty enough time to get around to do a lap. Are you seeing something, Timo?
Yeah, he missed the apex, and I think he saw the same stuff that I seen. He aborted his lap and just starts from P17, which is very unfortunate.
He was looking to get a toe there, but he's coming into the pits, so that didn't help him too much. We'll see what Dopey Lemons can do on his, probably going to be his final run now, I think, with the timer on the clock, as he comes down to turn 1. You've got to set yourself up, usually quite nicely for turn 2 here, because you've got a long straight to go through, but I think it's more about apex speed, as he really knew that there, as he was fighting the car through turn 2, and now we're going to come down this second DRS straight, second and last DRS straight, down towards turn number 6, and we're go on.
Yeah, you have to be pretty careful on turn 7 to not hit the apex, because you can pretty easily lose the car and then it's over. But he managed to do it right. Got a good exit out of turn 9 and now is heading towards turn 10.
And we're just seeing him come round the final couple of corners now. The time has gone, with the checkered flag is out. With only 2 drivers going to try and go through. Dopey Lemons is out in Q1. Iggy is coming round, but he is safe and he doesn't know it though, so he's going to finish his lap, and he's coming round the final 2 corners now as he comes round.
Takes a lot of apex. You don't really want to be on that.
Not too.
It's on title of the car, but it still gives them enough to get through. So up there.
Looks like we got our top 15 people heading towards Q2. Out are Badget, Dopey Lemons, Phoenix, and obviously Flea.
So now we just got away. We've got Raw, I think, who's the last driver on the lap as he crosses the line to finish the end of this session. So Raw did come in 14th there, as you can see on your screen. So we're going to get back underway with Q2 in just a few moments time. So the top 3 of that Q1 session was Veloce Ayu, Fatality and Dark Stomper, as I said, our usual people in the top 3 positions, and the 4 drivers going out is Beckett, Dopey Lemon, Phoenix and of course Flea, who's with us at the moment. So got a few things to think about, guys. Obviously I don't think we've got any problems with the weather for tonight. I think we all know what the weather's going to be here at Bahrain, but times, Lee, it could be anything, mate. It could be night time, or it could be first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man. And as you can see, the first 3 guys very close together, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Doug Stomper was... no, not Doug Stomper, but all 3 of the first 3 guys only done 1 lap, so they saved their tires, hopefully for a pretty exciting duel at the Q3 session.
Yeah, so obviously it's crucial. We will see, obviously, all you guys will know, we'll just go through the formalities. Obviously the top 10 that finish in this qualifying session will start the race on the tyres they set their fastest laps on. So you will see a lot of medium runners coming out with the yellow banded tyre in this session, but you will see a mix up, and it will be pretty interesting in this Bahrain short race, just seeing with what the track is like. And as I said, there will be maybe some mix up. Probably not in the top 3 or 4, but we will have to see on that one. You never know with full qualifying. It's one of the reasons why we do it, because it can mix up the order a little bit more. So we'll just get the tyre combinations. As you can see, there are some drivers coming out on the medium tyres already. So what are we thinking then, guys? How many guys do we think are going to get into the top 10 on mediums on this track?
Yeah, that's a good question. It always comes down to the difference in speed between soft and medium tires, and I think there will be quite a lot of people getting into Q3 with medium tires because the track is short, so there's not that much possibility for people who use soft tires to gain time because there are not that many corners.
But then you've also got to take into account it's a lot of corners that you're coming out of where you're going to need a lot of grip. So is the softer tyre going to be needed more? Is it going to have that much advantage, or will the mediums be enough?
Yeah, you're right.
With the amount of corners and how short the track is.
Yeah.
So I'm on board with that Stomper at the moment. Putting around turn 5, opening that DRS wide open, coming down turn 6, taking as much curb in, going into apex, nice, cutting it nice, up to turn 7, walks up a bit, coming into turn 8.
And a small lock up there.
Yeah, coming into turn 9, you're taking as much curb on it as possible up. That's going to cost them a lot of DRS.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to wait, the timing screens are a little bit laggy. Just give it a second. There we go.
That's it's a 58.9.
Tim's not messing around on the soft tyres. He's not messing around. So we've got a mix-up. We've got two drivers on the mediums at the moment. We've got King Panda and H. Bosworth, who set a time of 1:01.075, which is definitely not a very good time in this circuit, believe it or not. Getting into the 1 minutes here is not a good idea, as we see Cons coming down the start-finish. The one thing that we did do last week, Timo, obviously didn't race here last week, and the one thing we did do was sometimes we did 2 out laps, one to get the fuel down a little bit, because obviously you have 5 kilos, and 5 kilos is quite a lot of fuel here.
Yes.
And actually, I found anyway, rubbering the tyres for a lap actually gave you more grip on the second lap, because the lap is so short. So
exactly.
So sometimes you will see some drivers potentially doing 2 out laps, is what I did a couple of times, and you've got enough time here obviously with a sub 1 minute lap time.
Yeah, you can see that the short distance of the track is dominating the strategic aspect of the race. Normally you would never do 2 out laps, but because of the short distance it's actually something you could take into consideration, and which makes it so exciting to race here, because under 1 minute lap times you never see that on a track other than short versions of Japan and Britain. Yeah,
and of course we did have Sahkir last year, which was the outer circuit, which we're hoping, I think we're getting in F1 2021, well I hope so anyway. So we'll have
I hope so, yeah.
We'll have 3 combinations of Bahrain, which will be really, really good to be able to use. Obviously you don't see the Bahrain short in too many league races, but I think there's a lot of potential in it, especially with a lot of overtaking, and of course we're doing 100% race distance here, which is 57 laps. It's only between 5 and 10 minutes longer than a normal Grand Prix distance of a 50% we do, but it will be quite exciting to see. As I say, it's like almost like a F1 version of an Indy 500 race, this track.
Yeah, that's a very good comparison.
It's just a shame. I think what I'm seeing Amaral on at the minute, the Racing Point driver, on that last straight before the last couple of corners. I wish there was DRS there on this short circuit, because then it would just make it absolutely bonkers. But it's already bonkers. You'll see a lot of 3 wide into turn 1, hopefully. Without any, but turn 1 has actually got quite a lot of room on the outside, doesn't it, for turn 2? You can actually, but it just bottlenecks into turn 3 and 4. But hopefully we'll see
a lot of... Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, a lot of corners where you would think overtaking could be hard. race there, you get the feeling for the traction you sometimes opportunities which you, from only viewing the race, would never see. You can only feel them, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. So when you were talking about the tyres in this race being the strategy being the most dominant part of this race, being such a short circuit,
yes.
But looking at the times at the minute, these medium runners aren't going to be safe. I don't even think Dark Stomper potentially could be very safe at the moment with how these times are starting to ramp up. But of course, we are in a sunset phase here, so the track is going to get cooler. Which means the softs may potentially work a little bit much better in that window. Potentially, we might get some faster times coming through shortly. But as I said, yeah, Dark Stomper potentially might be the only one that is safe. I've got Fatality obviously in Cons, and Cons is trying another lap on the mediums. I mean, why not? We've got a long time to do this. There's some traffic down at turn 1, and actually I didn't think to do that, Lee, and I think that's actually quite a smart decision to do here on this circuit, is actually cutting turn 1 and using that escape road to get out of the way of traffic.
Yeah.
I never thought to do that actually. I think that's it. You're right, Lee. Are you chomping?
No, I was just watching. And I was just thinking, yeah, I never thought of that, to be honest. But yeah, why not? I mean, escape roads are there to be used, you know, to get out of the way.
As long as you're not doing it to get in a lap quickly, is the only only no. As long as you're using them to get out of the way of other drivers, there's never a problem with it.
I mean, the guys who use the shortcut are probably the smartest one out there. Maybe not the fastest, but it's pretty smart to do that. Pretty good loophole. And if you look closely on the times, look at Tim's time, who completed his lap on soft tires, right? He set his lap time on soft tires. And then you take a look at Dark Stomper, who set his time on medium tires. Dark Stomper is one of the most dominant racers in the league, but even he is 7/10 behind the guy on soft tires. So there's not a big gap. Normally the gap should be down to like 4/10, not more, but 7/10 is a lot between one of the fastest guys and the midfield drivers.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, and I'm not going to hazard a guess that, because of course a lot of these drivers, I think, who go straight out on the softs must have picked the softest allocation at the start. So they're going to have 2 sets, potentially 3 sets actually, for this run. If they only use 1 set in the first run, they will still have they might have, oh no, sorry, they wouldn't, they would have 2 sets. But they've still got another run to play with here over Dark Stomper, and he's obviously going to be burning those mediums if he goes out again on them, so he's going to have to have a little think about this, I think. So if some of these drivers get a little bit faster, like Rue or Fatality on those softs, I think he's just coming out the pits on softs actually.
Yeah.
It's all to play for. Obviously we've got Veloce actually, who's just started a lap, who hasn't actually, the only man not to set a time, and obviously second in the championship at the moment. He was leading the championship early in the season, so we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, it will become very interesting to see his lap time with the medium tires, seeing that he had a bit of a lock up there in the corner, taking it very tight. Using as much track as possible, more than you would think is possible. Trying not to touch the apex, a little bit too much rotation. But a perfect exit and another entry into turn 8 or 9. Ooh, that could change something. One of the favorites crashing out. That could become very tight. He cannot allow himself another mistake.
And this is gone.
That's going to really hurt his confidence.
It is. Forward. It is, and this is why we love full qualifying, because now his only choice really is to go on the softs. I mean, to be comfortable now, he's got to go on the softs, and let's see, Fatality's gone on the softs as well actually. Dark Stomper's now gone on to, it looks like he's going to go onto the softs with our screen. It says it's fitted, he's put some softs on, so he's ready to go out on the softs. I think this is just going to be a full soft Q3 actually, into Q3. I think they're all going to be starting on the soft tyres.
Yeah, they all tried to gamble at the start, but they saw it probably won't be enough, so they all go to the safe option and use the soft tires. Sorry.
He's not on a lap, he's invalidated his lap time for the time being. He's just waiting for a driver to go past. The one thing I haven't noticed, guys, actually, which I personally was trying to do quite a lot last week, no one's trying to get a tow.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that in Q3, to be honest.
It needs to happen. If you do it right, it can gain you a third of a second potentially, or maybe even half a second if you get it spot on, especially down the start-finish straight.
It is needed here, to be honest, with it being so many straights, you know.
Yeah. That can make the difference between P5 and P1. So if the teams have a good team morale, they will do it, and the team who does it will have an advantage.
Well,
definitely.
Well, talking about this, actually, there are risks to it. Lee, would you like to say about your mishap last week in qualifying, trying this tactic of getting the tow? Have you burnt it from your memory where you didn't make the countdown?
Oh yeah, yeah. So here it was, going to try and get the tow on the fellow here in the commentary box with me.
Yep,
Joe.
Yes.
And I literally ran out of time, and it was less than a second.
Because
honestly, I was gobsmacked.
Because I was trying to get a tow off the guy in front of me, which I did. But I pulled over to the left to let a few guys pass, and I sort of picked my driver to tow, jumped in behind him, and then Lee was waiting for me, and I timed it to perfection, and Lee had egg on face. So, but he got P2 in the end, so actually I think worked out alright for you.
It worked out.
Yeah, and I crashed out of that race actually. So
I can't even. Where was it I started again?
It was another one like Hungary.
Yeah, I have no idea. I do really terrible in qualifying, and somehow we just end up always doing good in the rest.
Yeah. And now Bosworth really doing his lap, trying to get into the top 10, fighting for his qualifying position. Has a very good exit. Didn't lose too much traction. And there he got some slipstream from Doug Stomper, who immediately recognized his behavior of helping the enemy team.
Yeah, H. Bosworth has been very consistent in this midfield battle actually. He's been getting quite consistent points throughout the season. He's had a good few Q3 appearances in the last few races. His form has definitely been improving the weeks we've been watching him, hasn't he, Lee?
Oh yeah, I mean, over the weeks he's just gotten
there we go again.
P7.
He's given with a 58.726.
And now War fighting. Sorry.
No, I was just saying he was only 23 thousandths of a second off of 6th place.
Yeah, very close. And is Raw going to make it? He's P13 currently, but gaining 2 tenths would get him into Q3. A small lock-up, but a good exit.
Who you were, sorry?
War 2-2-2. Coming out of the last corner, hit the apex a little bit too much. That cost him a little bit of time. It's not enough.
Amaral to cross the line next. He needs to beat his time to get up into Q3, and he does. Goes third, fastest, 58.376. He is definitely safe into Q3. Dark Stomper needs to get a lap in here, and I think he has just finished it, or has he just started his lap?
I think he started.
Finished it. He's just finished it. He's just gone in to third fastest. And Knox hates Bosworth. That was a commentary curse. I'm sorry, mate. 11th place, but not such a bad option here at the short circuit. Obviously, a lot of overtaking is going to happen. Fresh set of tyres. Probably going to go on to the mediums to start the race. He might be looking pretty comfortable at 11th, actually.
Yeah, and Fatality had a big gap between him and P2, which is something we didn't really expect, seeing so much time between them. So that is definitely a big statement he made right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's, with it being such a short circuit, it is quite an easy track to just mess up. The slightest wee mess up could make or break your race here. It's not like Spa, to be honest, where if you make a wee mistake it's easily recoverable. And so yeah, it's the slightest bit of mistake. Like I said, as you see, Veloce Ayub Jr. is the only person on the mediums.
Yeah. And you have to sorry, finish first.
Oh, sorry, that was me, sorry.
Okay, but one thing you have to take into consideration is Dark Stomper got his lap done in the last second, so maybe he was a little bit nervous and has done a small mistake, which wasn't the case for Fatality. It was his first and only lap, so maybe Dark Stomper made a mistake and that's why there is a gap between them. Could be possible.
Lee, would you send, when this is done into Q3, would you send an invite to Mars, because he said he can join? I think it'll be alright for not glitching, I think, as we're into it. Just don't do it until we're in this session, if that's okay. So, yeah, we're into Q3 now, guys. We've got 12 minutes remaining in the session. It looked like it was sunset, and so I'm wondering if it's going to be dark into Q3. We'll find out in a few moments' time. Yeah, we're pretty much dark now, so...
Perfect.
So I quite like a sunset qualifying, actually.
Yeah, and a night race would also look beautiful.
Let's wait and see. I would like the same as what we got in this race, in this qualifying, potentially. You know, a sunset race would be quite interesting to see, as you usually have the full dark race in the Bahrain full race. So hopefully we'll see Mars join and we'll have a full 20 for you tonight, but Lee will not be starting last. He'll be starting 19th, which one place for you, Lee. Let's see how you're doing to turn one. I'm just interested to see how distracting my commentary is going to be in your ear.
We will scream as hard as we can when you overtake someone.
But I've got to try and pretend that you're actually not in the session. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so we've got 12 minutes. They should have two tyre sets remaining in this session. Two soft sets left to go, but potentially they will do a couple of runs on these tyres, because I think the tyres can easily last 2 laps in qualifying. This is such a short circuit, and I think it's the same compound as the Bahrain full Grand Prix, so obviously they're not doing anywhere near as hard a work as they are in the full race.
Yeah. Okay, Dark Stomper is the first one to start this lap. Let's see how he does how he goes into turn 1.
Well, he's not hanging around in Q3.
Oh, very good entry and exit. Nipping the apex, but not driving over it. Tight line. Uses as much as he can. Maybe he shouldn't have touched the apex on the entry. Very good exit. And now here is where he did the mistake last time, but he got it right this time. Going into the last corner. Very good entry, some traction problems, but that will be enough for a solid lap time.
So see if I was right with the timing. Obviously, it's a bit of a lag with this track, so we're just going to have to wait and see for just a second. It should come up any second now. So yeah, 58.1, and then Tim smashes that time with a 58. I say smashes that time. He smashes that time on this track because it's so short. By
20 hundredths of a second.
Yeah,
oh, my math is bad.
With the Dark Stomper coming in as well. Admiral close behind him. Fatality slipping in between the two. But Tim up on the provisional pole position at the minute. With outlaps for Veloce, not started his lap just yet. Nor is Carl is on an outlap also. Veloce has now started his lap. So we'll run with him for this 58-second or so lap as we come down into turn 1. Turn 2, got to be a bit better with your line, take a lot more curb to get a straighter line into turn 4, through turn 3. Little kink of 5 here, taking the curve of the horrible turn 10 of the full circuit. It's not got to worry about that today. Coming down towards turn 6, take a lot of apex speed. He hasn't anywhere near hit the curb there. He had to take a taxi ride to that curb. He was so far away. As he comes up to turn 8 and round he comes there, using as much as the track as he possibly could. No curb track limits here on the white line, as it should be, as we're coming down to the final couple of corners. Turn 9, and that little kink there is turn 10, really a nothing corner. DRS wide open as he crosses the line. There's going to be a little bit of a lag again as he goes third fastest, 58.2, very close to Dark Stomper. Got Michael, I think, he's just no, sorry, it was Carl who just set a lap with a 58.4, and we've still got King Panda and Cons in the pits, but they've got plenty of time to do 2 laps in this session.
Yeah, and we have to keep an eye out on Fatality. He did a great lap. A couple of tenths off, so we have to see what his lap time will be, because he's one of the favorites for the pole position on this track, at least.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure if any of the drivers
in a moment.
No worries. As I'm not too sure. I don't think Carl isn't doing another lap. Just seeing if anyone was running a second lap. I don't think Veloce. Yeah, it's coming into the pits also, so we're just going to have to wait a few moments. We've got Admiral, who's just come out on to a lap. He's deciding to cut a load of corners. Fatality, it's alright. Yep, Fatality just coming in to turn 4 there. We're probably going to see a big bottleneck there at the first lap. It's quite narrow, that little part of the track there. You can go side by side, but it really is only side by side. There's no 3 wide in that little section there until you get onto the main straight. In my opinion, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure if I'm just going to. Sorry, guys, we'll get a blue screen for a second. I'm just going to make sure Mars has had an invite. He's going to join us at the back of the grid. So we're going to get a full 20, buddy, for this race. We've got King Panda coming out the pits now. We've got Admiral just starting a lap, so Pandas can't get in the way. But I think he's just far enough ahead not to get into the way into turn 1. He wasn't. And that's the only problem with this track, Timo, is traffic, of course, on this short circuit.
Yeah, especially here. And one thing that I noticed is Fatality didn't really try to heat up his tires, so his outlap was the same as a normal time trial lap. So I'm not too sure if his tires are on temperature.
We're just seeing Fatality on a lap now as he comes around turn 7 into turn 8.
The exit.
In turn 8, I think, I don't know about you, teammate, turn 8 on this circuit anyway, one of my favourite corners on this track, actually. Getting that corner right, it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Medium to high speed, and you've really got to throw it in to make it work. And as he comes around the final couple of corners, you've also got to throw it in to make it work. He's in P7 at the moment, goes first, goes fastest.
Very good.
I can't say the words. He's getting so excited. I don't know. We're not in the 57.
I thought it was your native language, man.
It is. I can't always. Can you say every word in German?
I don't even know every word, but exactly. I know the words I often use.
But he's on pole for the time being. But we're not in the 57, so I was a bit wrong with those lap times. Maybe because it has got a bit cooler now, that it's not going to get up there. We've got Panda on a lap who's not set a time, so we'll stick with him for his final few corners of this track.
Let's have a look.
Only a few corners on this track, really. Well, proper corners anyway. There's probably only about 7 proper corners on this track, Timo. And
yeah.
Come round the final corner, big kick of the old oversteer as he comes out of the final corner, crosses the line. He stays 9th fastest with his lap time. Cons on his outlap, and he's only got
sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time in the last corner because he hit the apex too much, and the one thing to get the last corner right is to only slightly hit the apex. If you hit it too hard, you will instantly lose a couple of hundredths of a second, maybe 1/10, and that cost him some time, definitely. And I think he's seen that as well, so he goes out on a lap with the same tires, not with new tires, because he has enough time to start a new lap on fresh tires.
So, just as we're waiting for a few of these guys to do their laps, as we've not really got anyone, we've got Cons, we'll just stick with him for a minute. But yeah, so we've just got a few more viewers now. Welcome along. We've obviously got about 5 to 10 minutes until the race starts. We've got a little twist tonight. We have got Lee in the comms box, but not the whole time. He's going to be racing and giving us info whilst we're in the race. We'll cut to him 3, 4, 5 times in the race and see how he's getting on. Obviously we've got 2 and a bit minutes left of this qualifying session. We're seeing Cons on the lap, who hasn't set a time just yet. He's just gone wide out of turn 7, and that's really ruined his lap. He has got enough time to go again. He's probably got enough fuel to go again as well, just because of how short this track is. So do you think we're going to break the 57 barrier, Timo?
Doug Stomper is on a new fast lap, so if I think he can. There are definitely 2 more tenths in his lap time, so I think it is possible to break through the 57 barrier, if you can call it that way. So let's see how his lap is, where we.
Sorry guys, I just had to send a little invite there. Sorry.
No problem. Slightly hit the apex, good exit, and
you'll have to wait.
Of course, the delay.
It's tense. It's a tense moment.
Man, when is it coming? Or did he invalidate? Oh! 57.9, I told you.
We have broke the time barrier. Fatality is still on an out lap. We've got Tim in the pits. He's going to have to come out any second now. Veloce's on a lap. Fatality, his championship rival, getting out of his way and being a good sportsman there. He's getting a tow. Is Veloce off Michael? There's a couple of cars pulled over to the left-hand side. That might have helped him. Just a tenth or 2, but it could mean everything on this circuit. And got 58 seconds left in this session as he's squarely out of turn 7 into turn 8, and he was planted through the apex of that corner down towards turn 9. The number 19 Renault driver into the final 2 corners. We go little lock up into the penultimate, and we're just coming up to the DRS. Timing zone is now. We're just going to have to wait a few seconds to see where he is.
That makes it so much more exciting.
It does. It makes it more tense. He's done his lap. He knows what he's done. But what has he done? Goes second. Fastest 57.963. He is just under a tenth off his teammate, and it's some doing there. We've got some Mortal Amaral is out, and that's where he's going to go. Fatality is on a lap. We've got Timo coming out the final corner. He's got 5 seconds to make the line. Is he going to make it? I don't think he is. He's just made it in time. He just made it. And Dark Stomper is checked out of this session. He can't go any faster. He can't do any more. I don't think Veloce is on another lap. I'm not sure. We'll stick with Fatality, who's coming out of turn 8 now. Timo's fellow countryman. So he's secretly
Biased.
Secretly biased tonight. We won't tell anyone that. So you and our little secret, Timo.
You got this.
As
I never talked to him.
Fatality crosses the line, and he goes fastest.
Pole position, provisional pole.
57.
Let's have a look on Veloce. Good exit out of turn 1.
We've got Timo though first. Sorry, Timo. We've got Tim first. In the McLaren coming, he's invalidated his lap time. He's not going to go any faster now. He did that at the final couple of corners. So only Veloce finished the session. That is it. We have finished for Q3 with Fatality on pole position. So we've still got the top 3 as usual with Tim running up in 4th. But yeah, Fatality is going to be our pole position for the Sahkir Grand Prix. Is we're just going to wait for Tim, I think, to just be backed in to his garage, and we'll get underway with the race in a few moments' time. So how about that then? I wasn't too far off my 57.5.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate, especially considering that one guy even came into the 800, into the 800ths of a second, or 8/10ths, sorry, 8/10ths, of course. So yeah, pretty close. Fatality got it for Germany, and then Doug Stomper only 300ths of a second behind, with Veloci right behind him as well, and Tim, who could have gotten a faster lap but invalidated on the last one, with 2/10ths behind on P4, Amuel on P5, 3/10ths behind, Michael 5/10ths, Carl 6/10ths, and then Iggy, King, and Kongs.
Yeah. So have we got Lee back? So we've got to have Lee in this race.
Yep, he is back.
So how about that then? Fatality taking pole position, Lee, and I'm not too sure if is it glitched.
It's apparently waiting for Rue, H Bosworth and Fatality.
Oh no, fine. Got a timer going now.
Alright, cool.
So hopefully we'll get underway. Yeah, sorry guys, so we're going to get underway in a minute or two's time. Lee is just going to are you going to talk to us just through the formation, that Lee?
Sure, yeah.
And
yeah, you can...
Go on.
Sorry? Yeah, you can maybe tell us how good the heating goes into the tires. Then we kind of have a reference how hot the tires will become.
Yeah, we'll talk to him sort of maybe quarter of the way through the race. We'll leave Lee to it for a little bit. Obviously, Timo, as we said before the race, mate, just watch the back 10 for the first lap.
Yes.
To stick on them as we're in the daytime. I don't know, actually. Is this going to be a sunset race?
I think so. I think we'll find out
maybe
at
Lee
least
did
at
set
lap
it
10.
and didn't realise. Anyway, so... potentially a sunset race. Anyway, yeah, Timo, just let me get underway the first lap and I'll cut into ask your opinion. Obviously, sorry guys, it's Timo's first time if you're just joining, so we're just going through some formalities. So yeah, I'll just get them underway, Timo, and then we'll talk about whatever sort of after the first lap. Alright, so we've got 10 seconds to go until we start the formation lap. Obviously we've got Lee getting his setup underway. Do you want to tell us, Lee, what your strategy is as you're just a reserve tonight? We're going to keep this...
Sure.
Go on. So what is your strategy?
Well, I'm starting on the medium, so I'm going to see how that goes. And if that goes well for me, there's a few people around me on soft and hard.
Right. So yeah, we've got Mars at the back in the...
An invite.
I've sent Phoenix an invite multiple times.
Brilliant.
Is Phoenix not in the session?
No.
It's qualified.
Could you try and invite her? So anyway, sorry about that, Lee. He's joined back now, so we don't need to worry. We have got a few guys who have been disqualified already. We're already at the last straight of the lap. That's how quick this lap is. We've got a bit of a gap actually to H. Bosworth by the looks of things. Yes, we do. So H. Bosworth is still... we've got Judd Santi, who's obviously got the 22 Alpha Tauri, funny enough. I didn't realise that. Yuki Tsunoda's number for this season. So I didn't... That was a little... what do they call it? A little insight for later on. Well, as he's had that earlier than when Yuki had the number, as we're seeing the drivers form up on the grid. So yeah, Timo, just watch from H. Bosworth back for the first lap, and then I'll ask what you thought of the first lap. So anyway, we're getting them all underway. We're going to have Lee go quiet now for the rest of the race. So just mute your mic, Lee, and we'll speak to you in a few laps time. Good luck to Lee. Yeah, so we're just getting underway now. We don't have any lag tonight with the lights because we've got Lee is the host tonight, so there's not going to be that issue for tonight. So yeah, when you see it, we will be getting underway as we've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 and 5 lights, and we're away for the Sahkir Grand Prix for Tuesday night racing, with Fatality getting a good start, with Dark Stomper getting a better start, and Timo blocking off there. Then there's a Mercedes and Michael going down the inside on Timo, but he hasn't made the move stick, and there's been a bit of chaos at turn 1 as we're going to see this bottleneck now, with Fatality being overtaken by Dark Stomper and going up into the lead of this race with a racing point off the track of Admiral. We're fighting with Tim at the moment. Veloce as well dropped down a few positions. We're going to see 3 wide, I think, into turn 6 here. I'm not going to make the move. Admiral is now up to 3rd place. Great start from the Racing Point driver, and Fatality still on the back of Dark Stomper as we're halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through this first lap. What do you think of that first lap, Timo?
Ooh, it was like World War II. There was so much happening, and I've seen into turn 1 some guys were blocking the guys behind because there was a big accident, and the big loser of this accident was Drismic, who's now in P20, 5 seconds behind P19, who spun around and had to get back to the field as into P20.
We've got a big bit of action going on here into turn 1. There's 5, 6, 7. They're all bottlenecking into turn 1 once again. This is going to be a bonkers start to this race as we've got H. Bosworth falling down now, and there's obviously a bit of issue coming through this turn 4 through the kink of 5, and we've got the timing screens going all over the place at the minute. It says John Santi's in the lead, but unfortunately for him it's not. Dark Stomper is still in the lead, but he's still followed very closely by Fatality, and if Tim and Veloce can get a move on a little bit, they'll catch them up very quickly indeed. We've seen Lee dropping down a few positions coming up. We've got Beckett, who's been spun round, and yellow flag in sector 2. We've got Drismic coming around. Beckett's got to be careful, and Phoenix and Stuvakar have been into the pits, and they're falling right down the field. Got Tim already catching up to the front runners. Got some drivers coming into the pits. Got the 2 Red Bull drivers in the pit lane. That's not going to be good for Lee.
Yo, man.
Lee, what happened, mate?
I just missed my braking zone going into turn 6 and hit the back of H. Bosworth.
You lost quite a lot of time there because you double stacked the pit stop, right? Or did I see that wrong?
Yeah, he's the double stacking at the moment, but he's not going to be in last place. He's just coming out of pits now. Got Stuvakar and Phoenix coming down the start finish. He is going to be in last place. Sorry, Lee, come with you curse. We'll get back to Lee a little later on in this race. And we'll stick with the front two at the minute, Timo, because Fatality is right on the gearbox of Dark Stomper, and he's going to go for it into turn 1.
Yeah.
This is going to be a duel in the desert for first place.
To get it.
And he's got it into turn 1. But I think Dark Stomper, in a way, wanted him to do that, because there's going to be a lot of dueling. Another one, Carl is being overtaken. You see this group of drivers, seeing Amaral putting his nose into turn 1 there to try and distract Carl, but no distracting doing there for the Alpha Tauri driver. Side by side goes the Racing Point and Williams into turn 4. Got Cons into the pits, and Drismic front wing changes for those 2 drivers. Got Lee, as I said, in last position with a 9-second deficit to 18th. Drismic coming out of the pits. with Raw having a go and having a look on King Panda, with Cons coming out the pits just behind them, and Dark Stomper, I don't know if
he's not close enough. That will be very close. He either has to use all of the CRS, which is down to 40% already, or he will not do the move. And it seems like he's too far away. So Fatality has won a strategic battle against Dark Stomper, and now has a the race if he doesn't come close into the DRS zone.
We have got, I don't know if you got the issue on your time screen, Timo. It says that Dark Stomper is 1 lap behind. But obviously that's just a nice little Codemaster.
I got the same issue.
So just ignore that, guys. He is actually still in 2nd place, so he is still in his right position. We're just going to have to keep an eye on the gap. We've got this midfield battle here, Timo, who's starting to hot up. The battle for 5th, I would say, at the moment. There's a few drivers that are all within that DRS train window. And Dopey Lemons and Mars, shout out for them, back of the grid, the pair of them, moved up to 10th and 11th at the moment. Phoenix and Stuvakar trying to get the switchback, and goes round the outside and hits the side of Phoenix. They need to be a little bit careful about that one there, and you're going to see if Phoenix can fight back with DRS, and Stuvakar doesn't look like he's going to fight that position too hard.
He does
try and fight back,
he couldn't,
but he had to back out of that with the door being firmly shut on the exit of turn number 6. We'll see what's going on with the front two. Fatality, Timo, is not really pulling a gap, but it's very hard to pull a gap around this circuit. It's all about mistakes, mainly than actually speed, because as soon as you get in that DRS window, it's so hard to get them out of it again.
Yeah, he's trying to concentrate. The only thing he can do is just drive constant, and Dark Stomper obviously has nothing to lose. He wants this win and tries to stay close, but if you take a look on his ERS, only 50%. Meanwhile, Fatality only has 30% ERS left, so they really give it everything in the first 7 laps.
So we've got Michael having a look at that 6th place, and I think he wants it, and I think Amaral knows it with the he's weaving a little bit on the straights there for my liking. May have to stewards may have to have a look at that after the race if he's not careful, with Iggy in just behind them in 8th place. Obviously you don't really know about Iggy, Timo. He had a hand injury and he was out for about 5 races, so he came back last week. He had a driver take his place for all the other weeks to grab some points for the team, and he's back now in his 2nd race. We had Bahrain last week, and now he's back again for Sahkir. King Panda is overtaking Judd Santi, gone deep into turn 1, and got the Red Bull behind him. Alpha Tauri versus Red Bull, and the Red Bull sneaking through, which you would usually see in real life, but he has done it in this virtual world, with Cons close behind them. We'll see what Lee's doing. He's 3 seconds behind Drismic at the moment, and he's got the Mercedes just in his sights now, so let's see if he can push on. And,
the battle between sorry for interrupting you, but the battle for P6 is very intense. 4 people very close together into turn 1. Michael right next to Amaral. They both see the 6th place. And Iggy nearly crashed into them. Bothworth came through, and now Michael is going for a move. And Carl is happy about the battle, because every move they do, he gains on them.
And Michael had to go off the track there. They go side by side through turn 7. Was able to keep it on the black stuff. Round turn 8 they go side by. They're going to do side by side through this whole lap. Neither of them are prepared to give it up, as they're still going. And I think Admiral had to give the place up there. I think he did for DRS, actually. I think that was strategic.
He did.
But he's put his teammate in the line of sight, and I know for a fact as well, as you're going to see H. Bosworth going through the middle of the 2 of them. This is what we love to see on the Bahrain short. And it looks like the 2 racing points are going through, and we're going to see a battle between these 2 as we see Amaral on the inside defending, going deep, and H. Bosworth getting a great exit out of turn 1 through turn 2 and 3.
Beautiful.
6th place, but these 2 can't battle too hard, because obviously number 1 unlisted rule don't take out your teammate. With Michael just having a look as well, and he's having to move left and right, and Amaral's trying to defend as hard as he can, and he's probably going to do it now to help his teammate move up as we're starting to see. We've seen Dark Stomper now take the lead. We've got this mid battle going on, and we're going to see if Fatality can fight back now with Judd Santi and Stuvakar fighting as well. There's battles all over the field, Timo. This is a great race for you, your first time out.
Yeah, 5 people, 4 people fighting for one position. There can only be one who gains it, and everyone gives everything. You can see on the screen a good indicator how dedicated they are is if you look at their ERS.
DNF'd. Sorry, Timo.
Oh God!
And they're all going side by side. They need to be careful. Ghosting is off, of course. We don't know where he is off the track, fortunately, but he is out of this race, and we've got a virtual safety car deployed. Michael and Iggy are overtaking each other. I'm not sure if someone's going to have to give a place back, as it seemed like we were under VSC then, but Fatality, we're going to stick with these front two, I think, after this VSC, because this is crucial for Fatality now. He needs to keep Dark Stomper right on his delta to have a really good chance, as I think this VSC is about to end, because these guys are starting to pick up the pace a little bit, get closer to their delta time, and we're going to see how they are running. I think Lee's going to try and take a big advantage out of this if he possibly can, depending where he is on circuits. We're seeing him come in to turn 1. He's having to break up quite a lot to keep his delta positive, and the DRS is enabled, and Fatality didn't get the best start there. He's still slightly behind. I think the timing screens needs to catch up. I think he's a bit closer than 8 tenths at the moment. Of course, the track is very short, so 8 tenths is quite a close distance. Michael overtaking Amaral into turn 1, down the inside. You've got the other two. We've got an AlphaTauri and a Renault, and Michael and Amaral have been spun round. And Michael,
they were too optimistic.
They should. One of them should have given up the place. I'm not sure if.
Yeah, and the big winner of this battle for 6th place is H. Bosworth. He's now, the 7th place is now 2.5 seconds behind him. He fought from P9 through to the hard-fought P6 place. 4 people wanted it, and he gained it. He won the battle. And strategic win, and he's gaining on Carl. Maybe he can finish P5 or even higher.
And interestingly enough, Lee's moved now up to 18th, and he's got Drismic 1.4 seconds. He's got 2 drivers in his sights, and Lee, there was just to give you an intel, mate, Amaral and Michael crashed, so they'll be coming into the pits in a few moments. There may be a couple more positions. Amaral was spun again. He needs to be really careful here and not take out another driver, and he's spinning again.
Out of the points.
He's just reset to track, which is a big no-no in LFR, and we all know what's going to, unless he just retires now, but he will be being disqualified from this Grand Prix, so he doesn't need to carry on the race. Wherever he finishes, it's not going to matter.
Very unlucky that we were spectating him in the moment he did that, so maybe he wouldn't have been caught if it wasn't for the commentators doing their job.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Amaral is going to retire. He's not. He's coming back out of the pit, so Lee's up another position now. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. We've got Fatality in the pits with a front wing change. That was something we missed, unfortunately. And now he's down, and Dark Stomper is going to be comfortable now. Lee has got past Stuvakar as well, and he's still got Drismic in his
fun coming out of turn 4 there.
So there you go, Stuvakar spinning. Fatality is just out of the pits. Dopey Lemons is just got ahead of Fatality, and he's comfortably in 9th now, but that's not what Fatality wanted, because a front wing change here is much more costly than any other track.
Something definitely went wrong, something that he didn't want to happen, and I think it's safe to say he's going for the one-stop strategy with those hard tires. There's enough room to do 40 laps on them, so we could say definitely his strategy is done for now. We can only look at Dark Stomper, how he does on the soft tires and when he will pit, because maybe Fatality can try an undercut, but of course it depends
sorry,
on how
sorry,
much.
Timo. Going to see a battle between the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari of Phoenix and King Panda, and King Panda's holding on to that 13th position at the moment. We've got Michael just ahead. It looks like he's not in the session. Give me a sec. Timo, would you just take over for a second?
Yes, no problem. Okay, Phoenix now with the DRS coming right behind King, overtaking him. That was an easy fight, but maybe King can switch back, uses his DRS and diving up to the inside. Very well done, covering his inside. No chance for Phoenix to overtake there. But of course, next DRS straight. Is he close enough? Doesn't look like it. Think that's safe to say that King won this battle. Looking up, Veloce trying a move on Tim. It's a place. It's a battle for the second
Soapy
place.
Lemons is out of this race. Sorry, Timo.
Yeah.
And he's dropping down. We've got two drivers out of the race. He's had an incident with the car of Michael by the looks of things.
And that means virtual safety car, but not the real safety car, so not too much mixing in the strategy here. Probably everyone will stick to their original plan.
One second, Timo. I'm just gonna. Would you be able to invite Michael to the session? Because he's gonna retire his car in the pits.
Okay, to the lobby, not to the party, right?
Yeah, to the lobby.
Okay.
DRS has now been enabled. Sorry, guys. We've got. I think timing screens are all back to normal, and we've got Lee, who's just come into the pits, and he's going to be fighting Amaral in a couple of laps' time. And there's a driver coming through there. Have you been lapped now, Lee?
Yep.
That is the issue with this circuit. You've got to be on the pace throughout, as we're seeing Stupacar as well being lapped, and we've got Phoenix and King Panda fighting for these positions at the moment, just outside of the top 10 as it stands. Got Veloce going to be fighting with Tim potentially this lap or next lap for second position.
Oh, and a very tight battle between King and Phoenix, side by side into turn 1. Phoenix got the better traction and is now leading into turn 3, but Phoenix
trying to fight as well.
Yeah, they banging wheels, and now he got the slipstream. It's enough to go for another move. Will it be enough? King seeing the opportunity for the switchback.
And,
very brave.
Yeah, King's trying to go side by side with him through turn 7 up towards turn 8, and he's just putting the squeeze on Phoenix. I don't think he meant to do that so much. He just turned in right at the last second. And who's going to want to take the DRS here? And Phoenix, crucially, has got no battery left, and he's trying to go side by side through the final corner, and he gets a big kick of oversteer. Did you invite Michael back? Sorry, Timo.
Yeah, I did. And Drismic is going to be the winner of the battle. He has so much ERS left and gained so much time because those two were battling, and now he overtakes both of them. Genius move, but he locks up and loses the position again. Man, there's so much going on. I thought he won the battle, and now he's back into P13. And it's not even a fight for a position with a point. They're giving everything just for 11th place. That's commitment.
That is commitment with Lee coming into the pit. So you're retiring from the race, buddy?
Oh no, I just ended up getting a broken company.
Okay.
If you just want to come and join us in the box, you're more than welcome to, if the race is not going your way at the moment. No, it's alright. Veloce is still very close behind, but obviously that's 7-second gap for Dark Stomper. Fair play to him.
Yeah, he lost his fiercest. He got rid of his fiercest competitor, and now doesn't lose time battling with him. So that is actually pretty bad for the guys in P2 and 3, because they are battling and losing time every turn, which is playing into the hands of Dark Stomper.
Sorry, mate. Apparently Michael's not had an invite. Did you do it through the game?
Yeah, I did. I found his name and I invited.
I'm just gonna. Cool. Well, we should see him hopefully join and retire on track. Virtual safety car once again, and now Dark Stomper's in the pits, and that was an ideal time for the Haas driver to jump in the pits. He's going to save himself a little bit of time now in this race. You see Veloce sticking right on the gearbox of Tim. We've got a Williams coming in as well of Stuvacar, who has been lapped. And Michael, I don't think, has joined the session. We've got Amal, who's DNF'd from the race. I don't know where he DNF'd there. We didn't catch that. Fatality is overtaking Iggy, who's jumped into the pits. He's going to lose a few positions as we go green now, and the safety car has ended. We've got 3 drivers here very close together. We've got lapped car in the background there. He needs to be careful, and he's been spun round. I think his Stuva car, he has. I don't know how that happened.
And a very close battle between P1 and P2 now coming down to the straights. Will there be enough slipstream for Veloci to overtake Tim? Using the DRS, using no ERS, so that is confidence right there.
This will be interesting. He's not got. He's getting very close to the back. He has to lock up the brakes. He really had to stamp on that brake pedal, and Mars goes through. It's a Renault 2-3 at the moment. This is a great performance from Mars, starting 20th, and now he's up into 3rd. He's really enjoying this Sahkir Grand Prix, Tima.
Well done to him. P20, haven't seen anything of him because he missed the qualifying, obviously, and now P3 on a provisional podium place. Of course, you have to see how Fatality does. He's one of the favorites for the podium, and Dark Stomper, who pitted, but still, he is in a position a lot of other drivers would love to be in. So he did something right, and maybe he is one of the favorites to get the driver of the day ranking. And now Veloci coming back, but still not using anything of his ERS, so he's very tactical about it, diving up into the inside. But the switchback from Tim is successful, and back into P1 he is.
This is great racing once again by these drivers. Sorry, Michael says he hasn't had an invite at all, mate. It's Michael F1 2008.
What? I know, I sent him. It said he has 2 mutual friends, so it had to be him, Michael F1 2008. Maybe he has a privacy setting going on, I don't know. But 100% sure.
Right, guys, sorry, I'm gonna have to try and invite him myself, guys. Sorry, this is sorry because I'm losing like the stream now to do this. This is.
I'm sorry.
My problem.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a second. Sorry. Just yeah, they won't be able to hear you, mate. Anyway, so sorry, guys. Just bear with me 2 seconds. We'll get back to the action in a second. So.
Oh, the exit will be crucial. A little bit. And he didn't use any of his CRS in the battle, which is crucial. A very tactical, strategic approach. And Mars up into provisional P2. 18 places. He gained 18 places. That is unbelievable. And H. Bosworth as well gaining a lot of places. Now in provisional P3, but only 4/10 behind him is Doug Stomper, the favorite to win this race. He's using his CRS and DRS, but I don't know if his CRS was even necessary, but should do the move and is now up into P3, and which is even more crucial, he already completed his stop, so he is in a very good position. Using the slipstream. Maybe, yeah, he's preparing for the move on the next straight, used a little bit of his CRS. No, again, the exit is crucial. Using DRS, and that will definitely be enough. He passes Marks on the straight for P2. Now his main rival 10 seconds ahead, Veloce. But Doug Stomper only has 30% left on his ERS, on his battery, and Veloce has 60%, so that will be a huge advantage. And Fatality back into P4, the guy who was at P2 from the beginning at the race, and even starting from pole position, had to pit early, change his strategy, change his front wing, and is now back into the fight for the podium. But, of course, he has to wait for Mars doing his pit stop. And Tim came back in P5 after he was provisional P1 before doing his pit stop. 1.9 seconds behind Fatality. That could become a very exciting battle indeed. And looking back into the pack, not too much going on right here. A lot of gaps have formed, but Bosworth right behind Carl.
And I'm
they
back.
Are fighting for P6.
I'm back, Timo. Sorry, thanks for that, guys. We are fully back in action. Michael is now retired in the pit lane, so we've got no issue about that. But
okay.
Dark Stomper, as said, he's just under 10 seconds behind and pulling away from Mars. The field is just started to spread out a little bit, which I'm quite surprised about, actually.
Yeah, a lot of spaces between them. Of course, Bosworth is trying to catch Carl, and Tim maybe can get even closer to Fatality. But other than that, there was a lot of action at the beginning, which led to the back being parted, you could say. But Bosworth gaining and gaining and gaining every lap, and has, which is crucial, a lot of ERS, over 80%. Carl only has 13%, so he could go for a move on the next straight, especially because he's in the range of the DRS. Let's have a look. He had a good exit. Now the next exit will be crucial if he wants to do the move on the next corner. Oh, a lot of traction issues. I don't think it will be enough. Or if it is, he has to use a lot of ERS. Nah, too far away. He will do it next time.
Yeah, so yeah, the battle for sixth place, is pretty close. Beckett is a bit behind. I think people are starting to struggle with tyres a little bit by the looks of things. A lot of them are trying to take them quite long into the race.
Yeah, you can see the guys with hard tires have a lot of lock-ups, and especially right after they pitted and changed tires, they have a lot of problems getting heat into those tires. So maybe medium is the better option. And if you look at the leaders, the top 4 guys, the 3 guys who are using medium tires are way in front of Fatality. So if Fatality has choose the right tires, we will only see him overtaking the other ones in the last couple of laps, because right now the medium tire is definitely the option to go with.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've seen H. Bosworth and Carl having a duel here, and H. Bosworth has taken the position well before turn 1. Carl is in a position on the hard tyres, but no competition against those 2-lap-old mediums. We've got Fatality and Timo are going to be dueling in a minute. Tim is going to be dueling, and I meant to say it the other way around. They're going to be dueling with Timo, and I think it's not going to be much of a fight for Fatality. I think Tim is just going to cruise on by into 4th place. But as I said, keep an eye out for Mars at the minute, because he's doing really well in 3rd place, and he's lapping drivers now. We are going to see some bunching up of drivers where they are going to be lapped, as this circuit is very short. We've got Fatality getting close. Tim getting close to the back of Fatality, but nothing doing as of yet. That time's not coming down like I thought it would for Dark Stomper and Veloce Timo. It's still staying in that sort of 9-second window at the minute, so Veloce's really doing quite well on those tyres, and he's not out for this race win at the moment, I don't think.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think here's the answer for it. Veloci had around 60% ERS 3 laps ago, and Dark Stomper had 40%. 3 laps later, Dark Stomper still has around 40% ERS, but Veloci only has 30% left. So in order to keep the gap alive, he used a lot of ERS in the last couple of rounds, so I expect the gap to close up in the next couple of laps.
Looks like Timo is going to fly past Fatality. Timo, keep doing that. He's going to keep doing it all night. Tim is just flying past Fatality there into 4th place. I do this sometimes. I grab a name which is not correct, and I just keep saying it. Honestly, it's a real horrible bug I've got. But Carl is dropping back from H. Bosworth now. Big lock up in to turn 1. I don't think the hard tyres are really good for this circuit. I saw you use the hard tyres, Timo, on your first run in the practice session. What did they feel like? But they're not very.
I don't want to say I don't want to be too honest, but they were extremely bad. I don't want to say the word now, but you can feel the difference between a medium and hard tires if it was a difference between soft and hard tires. You know, you can feel a big difference, a big gap in them, which normally only exists between the soft and the hard tires, but on this track it is between the medium and the hard tires, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so we've got Flea, who's still fighting in the pack. He's got a lap ahead car ahead of him with Beckett. Are you trying to unlap yourself, Flea?
Yep.
So we'll just see for a minute if Lee can unlap himself. Unfortunately for Lee, he hasn't been able to give us too much insight with Drismic on the inside. There's a fight for Lee to have into turn 1. They go now, and he takes it, and he's going to have DRS off the back marker, which is going to be helpful. But what are you going to do, Lee? Are you going to try and overtake whilst defending at the same time? This is going to be interesting to see now. I'll leave him to it without asking any questions. They both have DRS at the moment. Lee is on those old soft tyres though, so he's going to have a fight to get past. He's right on the back of
Big Lockberg.
Beckett at the moment. I think Beckett might just have to let him go, and he's slowing him down, and Drismic is on the inside now, and he's gone through, and that's really not what Lee's going to have wanted. But there's going to be a three-way fight between back markers and the leading drivers, a leading driver of Beckett. They go side by side through turn 9, and he keeps the move, and he takes the move round the outside. Does Lee, and he's going to fight back again, defending the inside hard, and he's not going to have a look on Beckett to unlap himself from the 8th place drivers. They go side by side once again through turn 1 and 2, round the outside again. Lee takes back the position, and this is really good driving here between the two drivers. He goes round the outside of the,
and they unlapped themselves.
He unlaps himself round the outside. That was a good move there, Lee. Fair play buddies. We're seeing Veloce in the pits, Dark Stomper taking back the lead, but crucially Veloce is on the soft tyres, I think probably to the end of this race now, and Timo, it's going to be a close between Veloce, I think, and Tim, and I'm going to keep doing it, I told you to keep doing it. Fatality ensues, a giggle from Lee as well. And H.
So much happening right now.
Yeah, so now it's going to start hotting up between these drivers. Obviously Mars is going to pit now. We're going to see if he can fight his way back up towards 5th or 4th position, something like that. Veloce still looking pretty comfortable for the 2nd place. He's quite a way off the leaders. Yellow flag. Ferrari has been spun
around,
and it's Phoenix, and King Panda goes through, and Judd Santi is close behind there. Yeah, Drismic has spun. Lee has informed us, and Lee looks like you're going to gain another position potentially. No, Phoenix has not got any wing damage, so he's got away with that. And see how close Veloce can get and how fast. Obviously, Fatality has got DRS off Tim, so that's going to be helping him pull him along. So he's really going to have to be 100% through every corner, Timo, to get it.
You did it again.
I didn't. I said Timo. I was talking to you.
Okay. Then my bad. But what I wanted to say is, you can see the hard tires now start to work a little bit, because at the beginning in the duel for 3rd place, Tim was 2 seconds behind, close the gap within 1 lap, and now, even though he was 2 seconds faster in 1 lap, Fatality still stays behind him, and the gap isn't getting bigger and bigger. It's staying the same, which I at first didn't think would happen because of the hard tires.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting to see the strategy starts to work for Fatality.
And Mars is in the pits, and there's going to be a battle for 2nd place. We're going to see Veloce go down the inside later on the brakes. Then Fatality, big lockup, but he gets the move done, and now he's got Tim in his side. He's going to go down the inside again. 2 moves in 4 corners from the Renault driver, and he goes up into 2nd place. This man, he's not messing around now, and he's got 12-second deficit to make up in just over 20 laps of this race. We've still got a while to go in this Sahkir Grand Prix.
That was unbelievable. 2 moves in 2 corners. He executed commitment and determination, had enough traction, and got the timing right. I think he didn't even expect it for himself to do it that quickly, but he did. So that was awesome.
For me, do you think Dark Stomper sort of needs to pit now for softs? I think he would have a better chance of falling back 10 seconds and trying to hold, because the thing is, there is no way to defend on this circuit really. If someone else has got more pace, they're going past you. So, and that clock, we're going to keep an eye on that time. It's coming down, and I think it's going to keep coming down with those 15 lap on mediums on Dark Stomper's car. It's a very tall order for him.
That will be very exciting to look at, because the medium tires, I think he has them on since lap 15 or something, so he had 40 laps to go with them, and he can try it out, because his advantage is Veloce has soft tires, but as we saw, the softer components are actually better than the harder ones, so the advantage won't be there for the whole time for
Yellow
Stomper.
Flag. Stubicar has spun round, and he's in last place. He's got to be careful, because he can have back markers coming up on him now. And he's got Lee behind him. Drismic has spun round again. This is I think the race distance is starting to get to some of the drivers with 9 seconds now. It's down to between the top two laps down is Stubicar now, so he's really not having the best race. All the way to 10th place now, Lee, just for some information for you, have all been laps. So Cons is the next driver to be lapped, and I don't think his teammate Dark Stomper is that close behind him yet. I think one, yeah. So Dark Stomper is at the end of the start-finish straight, or he was, and his teammate Cons was at the other end at turn 1. So he's still got a good 10-second gap or so, I think, to Cons. So I'm not sure if Dark Stomper is going to lap any more drivers. 9.3 is now the gap between the top 2. We still got a fight for 3rd place with your fellow countryman Timo, with Tim and Fatality.
I've never spoken to him, but I'm his biggest fan. 3 tenths behind him, and just to mention, Veloce is getting closer and closer to Dark Stomper. In 2 laps he made up around 4 seconds, so Dark Stomper has to pit. He has to do something, because he will not finish on this compound. So there will be something happening in the battle for the lead, but now we are looking at Fatality, 6 tenths behind.
Oh,
and
sorry. Mars and H. Bosworth are fighting. There's been a yellow flag. What was that, Lee? I think you've just gone past that, have you not?
It looked like an Alpha Tauri.
That would have been Carl, who is out of the race. So we're now down to 14 drivers out of 20. We've had 6 drivers lost in this race with 18 laps to go when we cross the line.
Yeah, it's a battlefield. No one is nice to each other. No one tries to give someone else an advantage, and that's what happens in a battlefield. Someone has to crash out. And Fatality still looking for the P3. His hard tires seem to be working now and getting the advantage compared to Tim's compounds.
I'm surprised we've not had a safety car team now, actually. We've had a couple of VSCs, no safety cars. A safety car is what this race really needs now, because obviously if you go, you can't unlap yourself under the safety car in this game, but if you go an extra lap on under the safety car, you will unlap yourself. So there's always that option for people. I know Lee knows that, but Lee is now 2 laps down with the leaders just ahead of him. He's got Drismic again to fight with. Is this what you've done this for, Lee?
Oh no, I needed the pat.
Okay. So, 6.8 seconds now the gap, Timo.
Yeah, he shortened it to 50% from 11 seconds to 6.5 seconds, so to 100% Dark Stomper has to do something. 100%. And the longer he waits, the thinner his chances for victory get. So we will definitely see a switch on the front row.
Iggy Combo has overtaken Judd because he's now into the pits, and I think he's going to come out. He's got a 5-second penalty to serve, so I think you 2 are going to overtake him, Lee, as he's just had his front wheel changed. He's just left the box now, so yeah, you're easily overtaking him. Shame for Judd, because I think if he hadn't had that time penalty, he'd have been fine. Cons in the pits now, so he's going to be lapped by his teammate. Soft tyres go on for him. Fatality is looking to the inside with the Judd Santia backmarker ahead, so needs to be careful of that. Get almost touching between the 2 drivers, and Tim holds it round the outside, keeps the move, keeps the place, and is still in 3rd position. Lee and Drismic are fighting down the inside. Went Lee, and he's got the move all done and dusted before turn 7 as we come into turn 8 now, and these 2 I think are going to fight a little bit as Drismic is in the DRS, but he has no ERS to play with, very similar to Lee. There's a little bit of intel for him as he sticks his nose in. Lee gives him the space and goes wide. Did you get a warning there, Lee? He did, there you go. He's already got some penalties. We'll look at the penalty situation. 5.3, the gap to the lead. Is Drismic going to have a go? He is going to have a go, but Lee breaks. Lacer gives him plenty of room on the inside and was able to have the grip. And Lee gets very wide, did not have the optimal line through turn 2 there, or turn 4 there. Also, 4.7 is now the lead gap, and coming up on Drismic and Lee is Veloce, so just be wary of that, Lee. You've got a leader, you've got a one of the leaders right behind you, so I definitely
only 4 4.5 seconds, so it's getting closer and closer, and 15 laps to go, so that is plenty of time.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't get out again his way to his Mick. I would try and get out of his way. Yeah, he gets out his way into the final couple of corners. That was good, yeah. So you're right for the minute, Lee. But I would, So Fatality is still close behind. He's still keeping right on his gearbox, Timo.
Yeah, I mean, because he has the hard tires, he has an advantage when it comes to distance, and even though Tim stays ahead, the longer
Phoenix and Panda side by side through the final corner, and Phoenix just takes the position, but they're going to fight back. He's going to fight back.
No DRS.
And no DRS for the pair of them. That was very interesting. Seeing
DRS for King, but not for Phoenix. Even though he's behind him.
Oh, it didn't show up for me having DRS at all. That's strange. 3.1 seconds the gap, and this is going to get tasty in the final few laps of this race. And he's just caught him up, and really getting on the back of him now. Lee, 20 seconds is the gap. If Iggy's not going to pit now, Lee, that's it to the end for Iggy. Phoenix might though, who's just ahead of him, and King Panda potentially, but we'll have to wait and see about that. 2.6 seconds the gap, and now he's well within the sights, and Lee has just let Veloce through. And Lee, I think you might have a good view here for the lead of the race.
Yes, the best place. Yeah, but what I wanted to say, because there was an awesome battle going on, the longer Fatality can stay behind Tim, the higher his chances get to overtake him, because Tim has the softer tires, and seemingly the strategy works for Fatality, so I don't see Tim staying in P3. I see Fatality taking this P3 slot. But what will be very interesting to see is if Dark Stomper now decides to pit, because we are coming closer to the point of no return, the point where it isn't worth pitting even though you get soft tires, if you get what I mean. I do get what you mean. I'm just watching this time, Timo, and it's just coming down. There's obviously 4 tenths for third place at the moment with Tim. Almost did it. Almost. Tim going defensive with no battery. His light is flashing, and Fatality is very much the same. Then moves to the outside at the last second, and that was an interesting tactic there from Tim. I don't think he moved too late, Timo. What do you think? Yeah, it was perfect timing. It worked out for them, and they only touched slightly, so everything went right. That was a great battle. Everyone leaving the competitor enough space. That's what we want to see.
I just saw on board there with Lee. He was getting a little bit squirrely on that curve there.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
And only 1.25 seconds. we can put a bet on it. I bet Veloce will get him in 2 laps. What do you think? 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps?
Maybe 3. I don't know though, because I reckon these tyre percentages are going to be very similar at this point. I think they're going to be almost same life of tyre at the moment, I think. So he's gotten in that gap though, Timo. And just for the second though, the last positions on the field now, 13th and 14th are being fought out.
Fatality overtaking.
And they're side by side. That's all right, side by side. And now he goes down the inside, goes Tim. And the side by side still, they're switching and changing. Virtual safety car is deployed. Phoenix is out of the race. No safety car again. And he's crashed out the final corner. I think
and a 5-second time penalty for Fatality. Sorry for interrupting you, but that will be pretty severe.
That will be severe for Fatality. He's not going to be happy about that, nor happy about the fact that it wasn't a safety car.
Yeah, and I mean, the VSC happened exactly when Tim was 2 seconds in front of him, so that was very bad timing added to the 5-second time penalty. So everything gone wrong for him in 2 seconds, and that could be the chance for Tim to keep P3, even though I believed that wouldn't be possible, and the drive-through penalty.
And we're away. Fatality. Let's have a quick look at Fatality, because he's going to have a go round the outside as Tim defends, and he goes. He's moved way too late there to Tim, I think. That was a bit dangerous.
I think it was okay, but that's not a topic. Trying to go to the inside, but Tim is defending very well. What can he do with the DRS? Both of them using their battery.
Now, sorry to cut you off, Timo.
Yeah.
Crucial, Dark Stomper has far more battery than Veloce does.
Yeah.
And Tim almost lost it there. That would have been a bit of a bum-clenching moment there for Tim. That would have been very close, and there's only 5 tenths separating the top 2 now. This is going to be two-way dual fleet into the pits. You're almost in the top 10 there, buddy.
Right.
And now fatality using ERS and DRS side by side going into turn 1. Tim having the inside. Not giving each other an inch there. Using the inside to get in front and keep P3. That is an awesome battle. For 10 laps, no, they are fighting over P3 with such commitment. That is great to see.
This fight for the lead is getting closer and closer to him. He was right on the back of him through the barring curve of turn 7, and now is he going to have a go into turn 1? I think it's as close as he's been for a long time. But commentating on Veloce for a long time, he's going to be biding his time here. He's going to wait for a good few more laps until he actually gets the move done. And I think he likes to do it right towards the end of a race where he feels safest. But of course these tyres aren't going to be at their best anymore, getting right to the edge of being their best. So I feel like he needs to get on with it, to be honest.
Yeah, and if you see, I think maybe Veloce watches our stream and knows that Dark Stomper has way more ERS because he saves his ERS and Dark Stomper uses it on the straight a little bit. And now Veloce actually has more ERS in his battery, so the tables turned. And now Veloce has more ERS, so that was a strategic battle which was won by him.
So there's 4 cars battling for 2 positions at the moment, all podium positions as it stands. We've got a fight for first and a fight for third, and there's nothing separating them. And I think Veloce's having a look. He brakes a little bit later, but he can't get it done just yet. He's a bit tail happy out of turn 2 there. He needs to be able to keep an eye on that with his tyre condition, but I'm sure Dark Stomper's tyres are not in the best condition whatsoever anymore. Almost separating, they're side by side almost, third and fourth for Tim and Fatality. Fatality's trying everything he can to get past Tim, but he's almost like a brick wall, Timo.
Yeah, and now the Fatality fights with so much commitment, but the 5-second penalty will be demotivating for him. But now coming down to the straight, the battle for P1 and P2, if Veloce uses ERS, he will go for the move, but he doesn't, so I think he will wait one more lap. Meanwhile, Dark Stomper uses his ERS and only has 8% left, so Veloce can go for a move.
Down the inside goes Veloce, but he hasn't got the ideal line for 2, and he cuts and shuts the door on Dark Stomper. He wants that lead, and he does. He takes the lead of the Sahkir Grand Prix for the second time in this race, and now Dark Stomper has really got to pull everything out of the bag to get this win back, because he's looking pretty comfortable in first place now. He's gone for the move, and just to keep in mind, Timo, Mars is creeping right up on the back of these 2 drivers for third place, starting in 20th and last. Awesome. He could potentially, we need to talk about it in the next couple of laps, for me, Mars could potentially be my driver of the day for this race.
For me as well, yeah, for me as well. Great drive by him, and potentially getting into the DRS zone the next couple of laps would be crucial for him to get into P3. And Dark Stomper is actually losing time on Veloce, 9 tenths behind him. If he gets out of the DRS zone, it's safe to say that Veloce won this race, didn't he? What do you think?
he is out of the DRS range now, and he's just pulling away out of every corner. Dark Stomper hasn't got the traction. We're going to have a see if Fatality can make the move on the road for third, but I think with time penalties, we'll just double check time penalties. So yeah, 3 seconds for Tim, a 3-second time penalty for Veloce, of course, and no time penalty for Dark Stomper. This has not been mentioned as of yet. He's got a second half gap. He's got to keep pushing.
Got a 3-second time penalty, just as you said it.
Lee has been spun round, and Dark Stomper has now got a penalty, and he's that was a commentary curse like no other, and he is now
fourth time
definitely in second place. He was in net first just a few moments ago, but now he is stuck in second place with 8 seconds, and of course Mars got no penalties.
Yeah, just wanted to say it. He is now in. He gained 4/10 the last lap, and crucially, he has no penalty. So it's safe to say he already got the 4th place. And if he's even a little bit quicker, he could get the P3 place. It is lap by lap. The possibility rises and rises. He did a great drive, maybe driver of the day, definitely.
Fatality is having another pop at Tim and got a back marker of I think it's Beckett, who's actually in 7th place, but a back marker, believe it or not. I think Lee has retired from the session. We've got 12 guys left. You're going to watch this battle for the lead, are you, Lee?
Yeah, I thought, why not? Let's see what's happening.
So I think it's
I can't see Mars name.
I think yeah, Mars is in 5th, and he is catching up ever so slowly. 2 seconds is now the gap. I really think, Timo, he could actually get up there. 39 laps for Fatality on those hard tyres, and it looks like Beckett is going to unlap himself here, which he's entitled to do so if he's quick enough, and I think he's going to have a go on Tim as well into turn 1. No, he doesn't, and this is now making it dangerous, even more complicated. Of course, he is able to unlap himself if he wants to, but now he's got Mars behind him, and he's going to have to get out of the way of Mars, and that slowed him down a little bit. He's lost a 10th there, so he's still going to have to get a wriggle on. 3 seconds is now the gap for the lead, and I think we can almost safely say Veloce is going to take this win.
Yeah, and it wasn't a win it wasn't a victory won by pace, but won by strategy. They both used a different strategy, but the softer compound came out on top of the harder one. In this case, soft was better than medium. So we see the guys with medium and soft tires are definitely better on track.
So, battle for third, once again hotting up. This is our closest battle on track, with Mars not too far behind. We're going to see Tim's usual trick. He can't move right to the outside. He squeezes Fatality as much as he can, squeezes him to the outside. He's got the inside for 2. Is he going to do the switch back into 4? He doesn't. He just sticks behind. But he just hasn't got the momentum, Timo, to get past into turn 1. He just hasn't got it with the DRS assistance.
Yeah, I think that's because of the harder tires, because he always tries to go around the outside of Tim from the inside, and then from the outside into turn 4 again, and from the outside you need a lot of traction, which he doesn't have with the hard compound. So I think his strategy was the fault for him not being able to overtake Tim.
Yeah, lap 56 now of 57. Veloce is on. Obviously a few drivers are going to be finishing a little bit earlier, but as of being lapped, 1/10 separates. This is going to be one of his last tries to get the move on the road round the outside. Goes Fatality once again into turn 1. Has the inside again, but it's not worked any time. He's going to be a bit more aggressive this time into turn 4, and he's not able to keep it again. This has been a stellar defence from Tim, I must say, but Mars is now on the coattails within the DRS range with no penalties, and it looks like Mars is actually going to be the man on the podium, trickling up through this field all the way through the race, having a really quiet race, and his last lap could be something to shout about.
Yeah, he is in range for third place if the other penalties don't get annihilated, and he's done everything right. And it's safe to say you can see that the drivers who finished the race on soft tires usually had very good pace throughout the race, and that's what the Renault drivers did. So that's a big win for them in the constructor standing as well.
Well, we're going to see again. This is symmetry. Every lap, fatality round the outside. It's the only option he's been given for the inside for 2, and he's through. He's through again, is Tim, to defend that third place, and Mars is going to have a go. He's got loads of battery to play with, and they're on the last lap now, and fatality is going to have to do it the hard way once again. Goes round the outside. Mars sneaks through, takes 4th place in this race, going to go round the outside, and round the outside of Tim. Veloce takes the win of the Sahkir Grand Prix, with Dark Stomper coming back into 2nd place, not winning for the 3rd week in a row. But I'm not sure if Mars is going to get it on the road. He's not. But he's doing a big dive into the final corner for the final time. Mercedes spun round at the final corner, and we're going to see fatality. It's going to be another drag for the 2nd week running. Lee Mars takes third place from the back of the grid. And,
well done.
I think that's comfortable to say that Mars is our driver of the day.
No discussion about it. I would be blind if I would even dispute that. P3 from P20, that's unbelievable, especially in a league race. And I think he's happy himself. He wouldn't have thought to actually get to P3 starting P20. That's a big statement he made right there.
There we go. As we all suspected, Mars is driver of the day. And 1-3 for Renault, which is a very, very good performance from the Renault team.
Yeah, that's very good. And that was also the first time the game picked the correct driver of the day.
Yeah, it does do it sometimes, but not very often. So we had the Belgian of Veloce winning the race, and Dark Stomper, who was running pretty much the whole race in the lead, and just wasn't able to keep it for the crucial part of the race, the last crucial bit. So yeah, to run the final order of this race, Veloce Ayoub has won the race. Great race from him. Dark to start in 3rd to win the race. 2nd place is Dark Stomper starting in 2nd, and Mars from 20th on the grid, 1-stop race, and has taken 3rd place. Tim in 4th, who was running in 3rd a lot of this race, held up a fantastic event, and he is getting a mention there for almost getting driver of the day, I would say, for Tim, because he did do a great defence. Fatality in 5th. 6th, H. Bosworth. 7th is Beckett. 8th is Cons. King Panda is in 9th. 10th is Iggy Combo. 11th was Judd Santi, and Drismic, I think, was the last driver to finish. Lee didn't have the best race, he would say that. Phoenix, Carl, Stubakar, Michael, Amaral, Dopey Lemons, and Rule all DNF'd from this Sahkir Grand Prix.
Yeah, it was an awesome race, some great overtaking, and not a single safety car, only a VSC, which shows you that there was some pretty clean driving happening on track.
So I've got some things to attend to tonight, so there's not going to be any interviews tonight, guys. We'll leave that for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Obviously it was quite a long stint, that, and thanks, Timo. I hope you enjoyed your first time out commentating.
It was awesome. A lot of great battles, so there was a lot of material you could comment on, and yeah, it was a great experience being part of the other side of the stream.
Yeah, so thanks for that, Timo. And Lee, thanks for obviously racing as a reserve, as you couldn't race last night, so that was good to see. Obviously our little trial experiment, see how that went, might do it again. So quickly, tomorrow night on Limitless DxT coverage, SRM round 3, it's Spain. I'm going to be doing commentary with that. I'm not sure if I'm doing it with Lee. I might be doing it with Cons YT, who was in this race tonight. Teatime Friday League, I'll do an upload for that. I don't think it's going to be live streamed. And then we're at Belgium on Sunday. Us 3 all in that race on Sunday. We've got our new format of a quali race with our 50% feature race. And Monday we've got China, and Tuesday we've got Japan, which we had yesterday. Check that out. That was a pretty good race yesterday in Monday Night Racing. So yeah, thanks for joining us at Limitless DxT coverage. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to the video, and we'll catch you again tomorrow night.